The world of celebrities is a fascinating, ever-evolving universe, filled with stories of triumph, resilience, artistry, and the ability to inspire millions across the globe. And when we begin with Justin Bieber, whose name has been a constant presence in pop culture for over a decade, we see how a young boy from a small town in Canada was discovered through YouTube and skyrocketed into superstardom. At an age where most kids are still finding their way through school, his journey has been filled with dizzying highs, unforgettable chart-topping hits, world tours, and legions of devoted fans who have grown with him through the years. Yet Justin has also been open about the struggles he has faced, which makes his story all the more relatable. And recently, as speculation about his mental health began to swirl, he decided to use his art to address it directly with the release of his new song, Speed Demon, in which he claps back at the rumors while reminding fans that music has always been his safe space and his most powerful form of expression. This ability to turn personal struggles into inspiration is one of the many reasons Justin continues to connect with audiences worldwide, because behind the fame, the headlines, and the flashing cameras, there is a human being who feels dreams and heals through creativity. And this is a recurring theme in the world of celebrities as we shift our focus to Selena Gomez, whose relationship with Justin was once the subject of intense public fascination. She too has shown incredible courage in facing both physical and emotional challenges. From lupus to her advocacy for mental health awareness, through her own journey, she has become not only a beloved singer and actress, but also a role model for millions who admire her honesty and resilience. Her documentary, My Mind and Me, gave fans an even deeper glimpse into her struggles and her strength, reminding the world that vulnerability is a form of bravery. And through her rare beauty brand, she has also built a business centered around kindness, authenticity, and self-love, which resonates deeply with people everywhere. And as we move from Selena Gomez to another powerhouse, Ariana Grande, we see how her career blossomed from a Nickelodeon star to one of the most successful pop singers of her generation, with a voice that can effortlessly hit ranges few can reach. She has delivered anthems like No Tears Left to Cry and Thank You Next that not only showcase her artistry, but also her resilience, especially after the Manchester concert tragedy, where she turned immense pain into a movement of love and unity through the One Love Manchester benefit concert, proving that celebrities at their core can be leaders of healing. And then there is Billie Eilish, whose rise to stardom came almost overnight with her haunting vocals, unique fashion sense, and deeply personal songwriting that connected with young audiences in a way rarely seen before. Billie broke boundaries by refusing to conform to stereotypes of what a young female artist should look like or sound like, and her multiple Grammy wins at such a young age made history while also encouraging others to embrace individuality and self-expression. And when we mention groundbreaking artists, Taylor Swift stands tall with her ability to reinvent herself across eras, from country sweetheart to pop icon to indie storyteller with folklore and ever more. She not only mastered the art of songwriting, but also redefined what it means to own your narrative through her fight for artists' rights and the re-recording of her albums, which has empowered musicians everywhere and beyond. Her music, her generosity, her activism for equality, and her ability to connect with fans known as Swifties has cemented her place as one of the most influential stars of all time. And this theme of resilience, creativity, and transformation is not limited to American stars, as the global stage is filled with icons like BTS, whose story is not just about music, but about a cultural movement born in South Korea and expanding worldwide with their message of self-love and acceptance. Their ability to fill stadiums across continents while breaking language barriers shows that inspiration truly knows no borders. And alongside them, Blackpink redefined what it means to be a girl group with their fierce energy and global reach, making history as the first K-pop girl group to headline Coachella, blending fashion, music, and empowerment into a force that resonates with millions. And when the conversation turns to artists who embody empowerment, creativity, and entrepreneurship, it is impossible not to begin with Rihanna, who transformed herself from a young girl discovered in Barbados to one of the most influential figures in the world. Her music career gave us timeless hits like Umbrella Diamonds and We Found Love. But her true legacy may lie in how she reshaped the fashion and beauty industry through Fenty Beauty and Savage X Fenty by making inclusivity and diversity the core of her mission. She created products and shows that celebrated people of every shade and shape, and that bold vision has inspired countless others to embrace themselves unapologetically. And then there is Beyoncé, whose artistry has always pushed boundaries, from Destiny's Child to her solo career. Her visual albums like Lemonade and Black is King elevated music to a form of storytelling that fused culture, history, and empowerment. Her performances, such as the Coachella Homecoming show, are studied as cultural milestones, and her philanthropic efforts through Bay Good continue to uplift communities worldwide, reminding us that influence is most powerful when shared. And then we look at Cardi B, who emerged from reality TV and social media to dominate the rap world with chart-topping songs like Bodak Yellow and WAP. But beyond the headlines, she has consistently spoken about the sacrifices she makes for her children. Her candidness about life, fame, and motherhood makes her relatable, while her fierce personality ensures she remains a voice of authenticity in an industry often filled with facades. And then enters Jennifer Lopez, whose career spans decades, proving that reinvention is possible at every stage, from music to film to fashion. Her Super Bowl halftime performance with Shakira was a celebration of Latin culture and female power, and her personal journey balancing career, motherhood, and love continues to inspire fans across generations. And when we connect these stories together, we see a pattern of women in music who not only dominate charts, but also build legacies that extend far beyond entertainment. They become role models, business leaders, and cultural icons who use their platforms to break barriers and open doors for the next generation. And as the spotlight shifts from the music stage to the silver screen, the world of Hollywood delivers equally powerful stories of transformation, resilience, and cultural impact, and few actors embody the balance of artistry and activism quite like Leonardo DiCaprio, who has given us unforgettable performances in films like Titanic, Inception, and The Revenant, but has also dedicated much of his life to environmental advocacy through the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation, which funds projects tackling climate change and protecting endangered species, showing that true legacy lies not only in awards, but in the mark you leave on the world. And then we look at Zendaya, who began her journey as a Disney star and has evolved into an Emmy award-winning actress for her role in Euphoria, while also becoming a global fashion icon. Her presence on red carpets redefines style with boldness and elegance, and her voice advocating for inclusivity and representation makes her one of the most admired figures of her generation. And then we shift to Robert Downey Jr., whose journey stands as one of Hollywood's greatest comebacks after personal struggles nearly ended his career. He rose again with his iconic role as Iron Man, leading Marvel's cinematic universe and redefining what redemption and resilience can look like. His story inspires countless fans who see in him the message that setbacks are not the end but a setup for transformation. And then there is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who went from wrestling arenas to becoming one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. His infectious charisma, hard work, and authenticity have made him beloved worldwide. Yet what sets him apart is not only his blockbuster films, but his connection to fans through motivational messages, philanthropy, and his dedication to family, proving that true strength is as much about heart as it is about muscle. And then we must highlight Angelina Jolie, whose acting career earned her critical acclaim, but whose humanitarian work as a UN ambassador and advocate for refugees, children, and education elevates her to a global role model. Her life is a reminder that fame can be used as a tool for powerful change. And then there is Meryl Streep, often hailed as the greatest actress of her time, whose mastery of roles across decades shows that artistry and authenticity never go out of style. And her humility combined with her unmatched skill makes her an enduring inspiration for actors everywhere. And as we step from Hollywood into the high-energy arenas of global sports, we discover that athletes too are celebrities who inspire not only with their physical abilities, but with their personal journeys of dedication, sacrifice, and resilience. And when we think of modern sports legends, few rival the impact of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, whose rivalry has defined football for over a decade. Ronaldo represents pure determination, sculpting himself from a boy in Madeira into a global superstar through relentless training and discipline, while Messi embodies natural genius, artistry, and heart rising from Rosario, Argentina, overcoming health challenges as a child to become one of the greatest players in history, and their careers prove that greatness comes in many forms, inspiring billions of fans across the world. And then we shift to Serena Williams, whose dominance in tennis not only earned her 23 Grand Slam titles, but also made her a symbol of strength, empowerment, and perseverance. She redefined what it means to be a champion, showing that motherhood, ambition, and resilience can coexist beautifully. And her sister Venus Williams also paved the way, fighting for equal pay in tennis and breaking barriers that ensured women athletes would be recognized for their excellence. And then we move to basketball, where LeBron James not only redefined the game with his unmatched skill and leadership, but also created a legacy of giving back by founding the I Promise School for underprivileged children, proving that true greatness is measured not only by championships, but by the lives you uplift along the way. And then we look back at legends like Muhammad Ali, whose legacy as the greatest boxer of all time was matched only by his courage to speak out for justice and equality, making him an icon whose influence extended far beyond the ring. And then we celebrate Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive, whose charisma, energy, and record-breaking speed made him an Olympic legend and inspired athletes worldwide to chase dreams without limits. And then there are modern heroes like Simone Biles and Naomi Osaka, who showed the world that even at the peak of success, mental health matters most by choosing to prioritize their well-being on the biggest stages. They inspired millions to embrace vulnerability and balance, reminding us that strength includes knowing when to step back and heal. And beyond the courts and fields, we find David Beckham, who blended sport, fashion, and philanthropy into a brand that transcended football while continuing to use his platform for global charity work. Each of these athletes proves that celebrity influence is not just about winning medals, but about inspiring change, breaking barriers, and giving hope to people everywhere. And as we glide from the world of sports into the vibrant universe of fashion, we discover that celebrities are not just entertainers or athletes, but visionaries shaping how the world dresses and expresses itself. And few embody this transformation more powerfully than Rihanna, who went from global pop sensation to fashion mogul with her Fenty empire, revolutionizing the beauty and fashion industries by embracing inclusivity, diversity, and innovation. She reminded the world that beauty comes in every shade, every shape, and every identity, and her success story represents the evolution of a star into a business icon. Then we look at Kanye West, who despite the controversies reshaped sneaker culture forever, with Yeezy turning footwear into high fashion and sparking trends that defined an entire generation. His journey shows how creativity can cross boundaries between music, art, and style. And then we celebrate Beyoncé, who has always been more than a musician. Her influence on fashion through her iconic performances tours and Ivy Park collaboration made her a symbol of empowerment, strength, and elegance, inspiring women everywhere to own their power and embrace their individuality. And alongside her, Kim Kardashian emerged as one of the most influential figures in the fashion world, redefining beauty standards, launching Skims, and building an empire from reality television to global business, proving that reinvention and persistence can turn criticism into influence. And then we remember Virgil Abloh, whose work as the artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear and founder of Off-White redefined streetwear and luxury, blurring lines between high fashion and everyday culture. His legacy continues to inspire young designers to dream without limits. And then we step into the elegance of Zendaya, whose collaborations with top designers and fearless red carpet looks made her a true fashion icon of her generation, showing that style is not just clothing, but storytelling and expression. And we cannot forget Lady Gaga, whose bold, daring, and unforgettable fashion choices, from the meat dress to the Met Gala masterpieces, challenged conventions and celebrated creativity. In its purest form, she showed the world that fashion is art, performance, and empowerment all rolled into one. And then we move to Asia, where stars like Lisa from Blackpink not only conquered music, but also became ambassadors for luxury houses like Selena and Bulgari, making K-pop a global force in both entertainment and style. And her groupmate Jennie, with her collaborations with Chanel, proved how seamlessly K-pop and high fashion could blend to create new cultural waves. And in India, Deepika Padukone and Priyanka Chopra not only conquered Bollywood, but also the international fashion stage, using their presence to amplify representation for South Asian beauty and elegance. And together, these icons remind us that fashion is not superficial, but a language of power, creativity, and identity. A tool through which celebrities inspire people to embrace their uniqueness, redefine beauty standards, and feel confident in their skin.